don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can fall apart. Tuesday, Wednesday, break.
Johnny Kendhammer podcast, episode 12. We are chugging along. We are going to talk about why it's so difficult to be dating if you're in your, I'll say, late 30s, early 40s, 40s in general, 50s. Basically, if you're over the age of 30, why is dating so difficult? Hey guys, I am in the apartment, still in Brisbane, still hanging out here, still doing the 10 approach per day challenge. I just completed day 26. Things are going very well so far. I'm not necessarily getting the results I want. Obviously, you want to be getting on dates. You want to be sleeping with women. You want to be having an abundant dating life. It's only been 26 days, so I'm still making progress, still working through some stuff. I had a really great start to the challenge. Like the very first week, there was 2 girls that I had experiences with. They were very great, awesome. Felt like I was on my game. And then the last couple weeks, I don't know if it's because of the end of the holidays, I'm just in my head a little bit. But the interactions have been a little bit clunky. I am working through some stuff. This is the importance of why I'm going through doing 10 approaches every day. It's helping me just get rid of that anxiety, first of all, where I don't hesitate to go talk to girls that I'm attracted to. In the past, I mean, all the way up until, I don't know, basically 26 days ago, if I did see a cute girl on the street, I would many times find a reason to not talk to her at all. I would always tell myself, I'll do it later. She's too busy. She's too hot. She wouldn't like me. I'm too old for her. Blah, 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 blah. All these weasels, all these things in my head, just trying to keep me in my comfort zone, keep me from actually doing the approach. In Mexico at the time, I was doing 1 approach a day, so it was easy to just do that one. Hey, I'll just do it later. I can get it done anytime. I don't have to do it right now. So I'd see these girls. I wouldn't do any of the approaches. And, you know, most of the time I would just get it over with. So I was just happy to get it over with. I wasn't trying my best in Mexico. So doing the 10 approach day has really helped me just get into sets much faster. Now I approach girls as I see them, not only because I'm more comfortable doing it, I'm actually excited to go talk to the cutest girls when I see them. It's rare to actually find very attractive girls when you're just out and about during the day, at least here in Brisbane. But because I'm doing this, I'm not waiting around. I want to get these 10 approaches done every day. So when I see a girl, I want to make sure that I go talk to her rather than, delay it. And then I have to stay out all night trying to get to 10. So that has been very helpful. A little recap for this week. Let me just look at my spreadsheet here. I'm keeping track of all my approaches. Maybe I'll share this one day. You guys can just ask me about it if you want as well. But for this week, I've done a total of 78 approaches. I've been averaging about 11 a day, it looks like. 12, 11, 12, 10, 10, 12, 11. I didn't get nearly as many dates as I had before. And it looks like I've got 13 phone numbers this week. So pretty solid week. Not anything to complain about. But it really just goes to show like how much effort I'm putting in to get an abundant dating life. This is something that most guys will never do. And I think this is one of the reasons why many people settle for relationships that they don't actually want. It's much easier to just find a girl that you're like, hey, she's good enough. I like spending time with her. I really don't want to put in all this work to maybe find a girl that would be better. It's not worth the risk. I don't want to be alone. This is exactly how I felt in my 20s for sure. In my 20s, the reason I met my wife in the first place was because we were at house parties drinking. That's how I met. We had that social circle. When you're in your 20s, it's way easier to find a girlfriend, even if you're not social. Like I was never social. I was never really popular. But because I was at a house party and I was drinking and I was a little bit more comfortable talking to people when I was drunk, I was able to get this girl interested in me. And we very quickly started dating. I remember I wanted to have sex with her. Obviously, I'm a man. But she said, I don't sleep with anybody unless they're my boyfriend. And I was hesitant about this, but my initial thought was, well, I want to have sex. So, yes, I'll agree to be your boyfriend. Excuse me. From there, things pretty much snowballed. Basically, I spent all my time with her, ditched all my friends. We were pretty much inseparable. Then we got married, and that story goes on. Yada, yada, yada. I'm 34 when I get divorced. But because I had no options, it was easy to settle with her. I didn't want to be alone. She was very cute. We did get along great. We had a good sense of humor. We had very much the same things in common. We were both pretty negative, pretty victim shaming. I'm going to pause this real quick so I can blow my nose real quick. All right, I'm back. But yeah, I just basically settled with her. But it was easy to find her because I was in my 20s. I was in these social situations. So we locked on to each other. I think this is really how a lot of people end up meeting, at least in the Midwest where I'm from. My parents did this. My brother did this. The people I would hang out with in Wisconsin did this. You meet a girl, you meet her through high school, college, or a social circle with friends when you're in your 20s. You go out to the bars together, wherever. You find this girl. She's good enough. She's got some red flags. You're not entirely happy. I know for me, there's a couple times I wanted to break up, but I didn't. I assumed I would work through it. And then you stay together until, inevitably it collapses and you're divorced or you're alone or you stay in a relationship that you still don't want and you're not really that happy. You see this all the time. But the difficulty is when you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and you're going through this, you don't have that social circle anymore. You're not, you're not able to just go to house parties and meet new people all the time. Unless you're hanging out with, you could do that in your 30s, but are those successful people if they're going to house parties every weekend, if they're going to the bars still every weekend to go get drunk and to go meet people? Yes, you can do that. That was probably the only solution I could think of if I was going to stay in Wisconsin, is I would absolutely go to the bars and hope somebody would pick me, and then I'd be in the same situation. And, that could have been an option. It's not what I wanted, so that's not what I went for. But that's why it is difficult to date in your 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, you don't have that social circle. You're not going to college every day with a group of friends. You're not going to these house parties. The bars that you're going to, you're not going to meet necessarily girls your own age because they're already locked up, married, maybe they have kids. And if they are going to the bars and drinking every weekend, it might not be the kind of girl that you want to settle with. So that's not really an option. Online dating for sure in your 40s and 50s, it is obviously a little more difficult. You are getting filtered out from younger girls. So that makes it a little bit more difficult to find the exact kind of girl you're wanting. Most guys I know, for me in my situation, if you ever watched the video of my evolution of my dating profile, when I first got out of a divorce, I was not taking great care of myself. I was overweight. I didn't have good quality photos. Most guys who are 30, 40, 50, we don't take photos of ourselves. We're not taking selfies at cool statues around the city. We're not having our friends take a cool, interesting photo of us where we look great in a suit. We're not really doing any of that stuff. So when you get out of a relationship, or if you've just been single for a while in your 30s and 40s and you're not going out to these bars and stuff, and you don't necessarily have friends that you want to talk to get photos, you're just putting up an average profile, then you don't really stand out. And even if you do get a great profile, I would say my profile is pretty good. I have over 100 likes on Tinder I could go through, on Bumble, all this stuff. But the quality of girls that I'm meeting, not to say that they're bad or anything, but they're not probably the kind of girl that I would have a relationship with, honestly. I don't know anything about them. I went on a Bumble date today. So I posted a video with the two Bumble girls that I had set up a date with this week. One of them flaked, or one of them was, she was sending me pictures of her drinking. She was 35. She was Chinese, so I thought she'd be cute and pretty innocent. She had these photos that she would dress up in her culture. She looked very cute. And then she's sending me pictures of the liquor that she's going to be drinking, and that her friend and her were going out to the casino and then going out to the bars, and it was immediately a turnoff. So the downfall of online dating is you never really know who you're going to even meet up with. I made a video about this, about the girl who came straight to the house. Like, that's a cool experience. It's cool to be able to do that. But because I've had dating experience, I know the kind of girls that I want. I don't want to be with this girl. Whereas there's plenty of guys that are messaging her that because dating is difficult in your 30s, 40s, 50s, if you don't have any options, you would be very glad to have her come over. And you would think, oh, this girl is great. She's talking to me on dating apps. Maybe she'll be my next girlfriend. Maybe I can stop being alone. Maybe I will finally have a girl that will have sex and we'll have some fun feminine energy around and we'll go do this stuff. But these guys are confessing their neediness to her and like they're infatuated with her without ever having met her. They don't have any experience with the kind of girls that they want. And because dating has been so hard for them, they're willing to accept that. So online dating is hit or miss. I had a Bumble date today. Girl showed up. And the vibe was off immediately. I had George check her profile to see if she was a man. I honestly couldn't tell. I felt uncomfortable asking because if she wasn't, I felt like I'd be a dick. But I also could kind of see maybe an Adam's apple. It was very, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but it was like there was something definitely weird here. So the vibe was off. I told her, wasn't really feeling it. I ended up leaving after I drank my juice. But that was just one of the things that really clicked in me of like why online dating isn't really working for me at this time. But it just goes to show like why it is difficult to date in your 30s and 40s. I have a good online dating profile and I'm still not getting the quality of girls that I want from that. So if you're like every other, I guess I wouldn't say every other guy, but if you're like the typical guy who just got out of a relationship or just hasn't had good photos, you're not even getting likes and matches in the first place. And then if you're not learning how to text girls so that they're interested and you're not just asking boring questions, it's hard to get them on dates. So then you're running into that bottleneck, and then you get on the dates and you got to lead the date, and then you got to be able to make them interested, and you have to be interested in them to see if you even want to see them again. So it can be fucking tough. Like there's a lot that goes into this. So you don't have that social circle. You're doing this online dating. You might not be getting the girls that you're actually wanting to go on dates with. I see this a lot too. Guys will finally get girls on dates and then they'll now want to lose this girl. Like they finally got a match. They finally got a girl to respond back through texting. Then they finally got on the date. Then she finally went home with them. They're finally having sex with somebody. And then they're immediately like, okay, I got to try to lock this girl down now because I don't know when the next match is coming. I don't know when the next girl's just going to come by. Because they don't have that social circle. They know they're not going to meet her that way. So there you go. That's a lot of how that'll happen. So that's why it's tough. And then doing cold approach, which I've been doing 10 approaches a day for the last 26 days. So I've been doing, anywhere from 10 to 12. The total I have after 26 days is 288 total approaches. And I've gotten quite a few phone numbers. Let's see, just a quick glance. I got maybe 40 some phone numbers out of that 288. So not terrible statistics, but not great either. But even after getting that many phone numbers, like a lot of them didn't lead to anything. A lot of these girls were leaving the next day. A lot of the girls didn't really want to meet up. Some of the girls I got phone numbers from, I didn't want to meet up with. Some of the girls that I've slept with, they ended up one girl got into a situationship and hasn't wanted to see me. The other girl went back to Tasmania. Some other girls I'm talking to now trying to get on dates, but like it's just a lot of work to go into this to get these dates, to meet quality girls, even the girls that I've been with and that I've met. Like I don't know that I would want to be with them consistently. I mean, it's a lot of work. I still don't have anywhere close to a girlfriend. Like this is difficult. So I can totally understand why guys feel hopeless, like why it feels difficult to get a girlfriend in 2026, why dating apps feel broken, why dating doesn't work. It is a lot of work that does go into it. I've been doing this 10 approach a day. I feel a lot more comfortable going into interactions to see what will happen. Some girls are very receptive and the interaction goes very well. A lot of the times, girls will sit and be interested for a little bit, but because I'm still a little nervous, I'm still trying to figure out, how to have fun interactions without sounding boring, but also like making sure they know that I'm interested. It's a process. It takes time. It does take work to do. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm consistently doing the approaches, trying to get better. But, a lot of guys don't have. It's difficult to make that decision to do 10 approaches a day. I was doing the one approach a day, like I said, at the beginning of January 2025. And I was doing one compliment, just saying hi. I thought you look very nice. And then I would leave because I knew I wasn't getting the dating life I wanted just doing online dating and just sitting around. I wasn't becoming a better man. I wasn't really getting the experience that I wanted. So I had to do something. So I just did one approach a day. Hi, I thought you looked very nice. And then I would walk away because I was still very nervous. And I started to get better. I started to feel more comfortable, but it still was a slow process. Like, you do have to put in some work. It's not like it used to be. I can't just go to the bars when I'm 20 years old and just have a lot of friends hanging around or young people my age. When I go to the bars now, I went to Fortitude Valley last week. It's full of a bunch of 18 to 23-year-olds that are in groups of people that all kind of know each other. And when you're 42 and you're going out to these places completely alone, sober, it's difficult. It's tough to have those conversations. I don't feel like I fit in. I really don't want to hang out with a group of kids that are all wasted. But if that's where they're at, like that's where you got to go. It just adds another layer of difficulty. This is one of the reasons why I do like to go sober to these places. I don't want to be that 40-year-old that's drinking, trying to meet people for some reason. To me, that's just not appealing. Like being that guy that's 40 years old, can't have like just kind of acting weird, staring at people. I don't know. I've been that guy before when I'm going to clubs and I'm too afraid to talk to somebody. And I understand how that plays out because you feel like you have to drink to be able to be socialized and be yourself. But then I know for me, when I would do that, I would also feel uncomfortable because I was drinking and I'd feel old. It's like, what am I doing? This is how I felt in Minneapolis. I would go to these places. All these people kind of knew each other growing up. They had their social circle. They had their friends. This is how they're going to go meet people. It's like they're going to go out every weekend. And I'm trying to, I guess, I don't know, air quotes, infiltrate this group. And I don't really know them. So I'm trying to drink to feel comfortable so that I feel more social. And then I'm actually probably more awkward because I'm not that calibrated. I'm probably slurring my speech a little bit. I'm probably just too high energy. It just didn't make me feel good about myself. So that happened in December 2024. And I finally said, you know what, fuck this. I'm done. I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm just going to face the anxiety. And then I started to do day game because I didn't want to be in that environment. I knew I wanted to meet quality women. I wanted to find somebody that's going to be a good fit for my life. And going to these bars and socializing with people that are drinking was just not working for me. It's one of those skill sets where I absolutely could do it. I know tons of guys who go to the bars, they meet girls, they take them home, they have good experiences. I don't know how many of them have actually like been in relationships with those girls that they've done that with, but you can make great people that way. But for me, it just wasn't working out. So that's why I started to do the one approach a day. And I met a great girl doing that, but it took work. Like I had to put myself on the line. I had to do all that stuff. And it's something that obviously you don't, I guess I wouldn't say obviously, but it's difficult to get into that position where you're finally just going to put yourself on the line and start doing it. But I mean, it's really what it takes, which is where the difficulty of being or dating in your 30s and 40s and above comes from. Like, it's just easier to not do it. But what choice do you really have? I would love to hear your guys' opinion on like how you go about getting dates in your life. Are you happy with your dating life? Are you happy being single? Do you wish you were getting better quality women in your life? How do you go about even giving yourself the opportunity to meet these people? I would love to hear it from you guys because I don't see social circle working, especially if you're a guy who travels and you're just constantly in different areas. You got your close couple friends that you hang out with. Me personally, I'm not that interested in going to like a trivia night to go meet people. I guess it would be a great way to do that. You can make new friends. You'd have a social circle. You probably would meet some girls that way. I guess maybe that's something I could try just to see how it goes. But I'd rather go out and just do one-on-one cold approach, build myself up that way. Um, Online dating is definitely an option. I haven't been having it's just not that exciting to me. I kind of mastered like how to text, how to get girls out on dates. And the girls I was getting, like they're cute and all, but am I really going to get into a relationship with a girl who's 33, 35, 37? Probably not. Whereas if I go do cold approach, I can go meet a girl who's 20, 23, 26. Just gives you a lot more options. You can also decide right away with cold approach, like, is this girl feminine? Is this girl the kind of girl that I would want to date? Whereas online dating, it's kind of like you're hoping she shows up and you are excited to meet her. But yeah, how do you guys go about getting your dating life handled? Is this something that's important to you? Um, I think getting through, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s too, you have those limiting beliefs that you're too old, she's not going to like you. You don't have maybe a lot of experience. I know when I got divorced at 34, I did not have much experience with girls. I think I slept with maybe 5, 6 girls before I met my wife. So I got married at 22. She would have been, I think, maybe the 6th girl I slept with, but the only one I slept with consistently. So when we were together, we're not having crazy good sex. We're very missionary, very obligated sex. So I don't have a lot of experience being a good lover. And so when I get out of that relationship and I have never really had girls other than her like me, I have that mindset of, well, now I'm too old. Now I'm never going to find a girl that's going to like me because I'm not going to go meet them anywhere. So you have all these limiting beliefs that aren't even getting you to think of what could be possible or giving you the opportunity to try. It was once I realized that no one was coming to save me and I started watching some RSD stuff, just showing that, you can become better. Red pill stuff. I think red pill stuff is useful, like knowing that you can improve yourself. Women are attracted to men with boundaries. Women want strong, dominant men. They do have hypergamy, so you do have to continue to improve yourself. That is good stuff to know. It's not something that you should focus on, that all women are red flags and all women are terrible and all that stuff. Like, that's not what I believe at all, but it is good to know. Like, red pill is what woke me up to knowing I could become a better version of myself. I could lose weight. I could be more attractive that way. I could improve my style. I could improve my communication. I could improve the sound of my voice. I could get a hair transplant. I could brush my teeth. I could go on fun adventures so I have interesting stories to tell. Like, all this stuff just builds you up, and then you start attracting higher quality people. If I didn't start doing this stuff, if I didn't start listening to red pill, if I just assumed that dating sucked and it was hard in my 30s, and just gave up, I wouldn't have traveled. I would have just stayed in Wisconsin and found a girl, just settled with, and then I would have gone back to my video games because I, quote unquote, loved video games. But in reality, it was just me escaping and not wanting to improve myself or really happy with anything. But because I did listen to this red pill stuff and I did realize that I could improve, it put me on this journey of, I don't know if I want to say self-development, but like trying to be better, becoming more attractive, doing things that would get me the dating life I wanted, having to move out of small town Wisconsin to Boston to Vegas to traveling to like Colombia and Guatemala and Barcelona and now Australia. Like, it's just making me more well-rounded. It's making me comfortable with who I am. It makes me realize I can handle situations that come up. I think traveling alone just builds you up so much. And a lot of guys won't go through that, which I think is very important. Dating is going to feel very tough if you're not doing anything that makes you attractive to women. Like, if you're not becoming more attractive to women, then you're going to have trouble getting results. And then you're going to think it's broken and you're going to think it's super difficult. What I found so far after doing this challenge for 26 days. We're going to go up to 60. I am getting a little tired, I'll be honest, but I'm going to keep doing it. It's one of those things where you get in your head like, not been going well all week. I don't want to do it. But in reality, if I told my 34-year-old self that I would be on dates with 25-year-old that were very hot, the kind of girls that I would have envied and would have loved to have been with in high school or like when I was 25, like I would have loved to be with these girls. I would have, these were the girls that, because I would have been so needy, I would have just like, oh shit, she wanted a date with me. She let me sleep with her. I'll settle with her. I don't care about her red flags. I would absolutely just whatever. Like I would have had that neediness with these girls. So being 42 and being able to get on these instant dates with these girls, talking to this other girl that I've been talking to, she's super cute, very feminine, very flirty, getting all these phone numbers. If I would have known, if I never would have thought this was possible at 34 when I was first getting into this. Yes, I knew I could improve myself. I could become more attractive, but I would never have guessed a 40-year-old could be going out on dates with 25-year-olds, sleeping with 23-year-olds, meeting up and having plans with all these girls. More girls on the horizon, like I've just showed, it's proof of concept. Today I talked to, you can read this in the daily blog. I post just a little breakdown of all my approaches and what I was feeling. Today I approached two girls at the mall, maybe 20 some years old. One girl just got done at the gym wearing yoga pants. Her breasts were hanging out, very hot. Like she looked like she was from Sweden. And she was interested in the conversation. And I would say if I was leading the interaction a little bit better, if I was a little bit more structured and more authentic with who I was and able to express it, I think I could have gotten her number and maybe got her out on a date. I never would have believed this growing up. I for sure would never believe this growing up. I would have always assumed that pretty girls don't like me. But this was just proof of concept that this girl was interested. She was sitting there talking to me. I think she was disappointed when I didn't go for the number because it just showed like, oh, I thought this guy was going to be cool. I thought he was going to figure this out and like actually lead it. And then there was another interaction that was very similar where if I was just a little bit better or a little bit more authentic, a little bit more calibrated, I could have got these girls out. So this journey is just showing me that it is possible to get these girls that I've always been attracted to, that I've, growing up, I never thought would even be possible. At 34, after a divorce, I never thought would have been possible. Over the years, I knew that I had a lot of experience with dating. I knew the kind of girls I liked, but I also knew I was also, I don't know if I would say underachieving because I did date great girls that just circumstances didn't work out. But I also knew that I could date other hot girls. Like I don't know. I just, I wanted girls in my life, and now I'm just showing that it is possible, but it does take a lot of work. So it's not easy, but it can be done. And I guess this message of the day is, yes, dating is difficult in your 30s, 40s, 50s. Sure, you can get on. I mean, a lot of guys that I know in this age range, some guys are very great at online dating. They're doing great with that, but they're not always consistently getting girls that are in their life that they're super happy about, or like not everybody's going to be a fit for you. Julian from RSD said this. Imagine you're a queen of spades and you're looking for, I guess let's not use a queen of spades. You don't get this, but you're a five of spades. You're looking for another five of spades that's going to fit your life. And you're going around, if you're not doing cold approach and you're not talking to a bunch of different people, you're trying to find this five of spades after like maybe a couple online dates. Like she could be a seven of hearts and you're just not a match. Or she could be a jack of diamonds and you're just not a match. And you're only getting on, 5 dates a year. It's going to take you forever to meet this right person. And you're probably settle because you're just not getting the abundance that you want. Whereas if you're going out, I'm doing these 10 approaches a day, it's going to improve my likelihood of finding that five of spades if I'm the five of spades. So it does take a lot of work. It is also fun. Like I'm meeting cute girls. I'm seeing that they're attracted to me. I'm seeing that, okay, I'm almost to this next step. I'm building myself up. I'm becoming more authentic. I'm becoming a better communicator. I'm building attraction. These girls are excited to talk to me. These are things that are in my control. I can improve. I can be better. It's fun. It's building me up. So although it is work, it is a journey, but the results that you can get out of it are amazing. Yeah, it's getting close to the end here. We're almost at 30 minutes now. I guess I'll just wrap up with, I understand that dating is tough, especially if you're over the age of 30. I hope you know it's not hopeless. George, he's got 3 girls he's kind of seen already. One's 22. I don't know if I need to say that, but like very cute, very feminine, just his type. He never would have, like a year ago, a couple months ago, he wasn't doing this. We've been working together for a couple months and his results have just skyrocketed. So it just goes to show what is possible if you are willing to do some actions to get the life that you want. It's not impossible. I know it can feel that way. You just get out of a relationship or a divorce or whatever, and you're kind of feeling hopeless. You kind of felt like maybe you lost your chance. That is not the case. There's absolutely stuff you can do to improve yourself, to get the dating life you want. I was listening to, I think it was Tony Robbins or somebody. You're just shedding off layers of stuff you've built up over the years. That nice guy layer, you're trying to drop that. That guy who needs validation, you're trying to drop that. That guy who is very meek and can't use his voice well, you're trying to drop that so you can actually speak with the authority, the voice that you want. You're just trying to let go of all this stuff. And so by me doing these 10 approaches every day, I'm letting go of that anxiety of, oh, I don't want to approach her because of these weasels. I'm just going for it now. I'm trying to drop all these layers. So it really opens your eyes to that. I don't have much else to say on that. If you guys are looking for any help with online dating to get onto dates, you want to build abundance. You want to start meeting girls. It is possible that you meet the girl that you're really attracted to, that you want to be with through online dating. But if you're like most guys and you didn't put any work into your profile, or you're not learning how to message to get girls interested on meeting up, it's going to be frustrating. And then you might get on dates with girls that you don't really want to, but you don't want to not be alone. So you might be a little needy. But yeah, don't let that happen to you. Book a call to do a profile review. Shameless promotion there. I also have the siren breakdown if you're looking to how to text girls. I found the best way to see if you want to match or be with girls is to just get them on dates or get their phone number so you can call them. There's really no point of dragging this stuff out on the app. So look at that. Tomorrow I will be getting my hair cut and then I'm going to do my 10 approaches. Tuesday I will film from the spa. I'm going to do the sauna, cold plunge, and it'll be my first time doing a deprivation tank. I'm excited to see what I'll learn from that. Hope you guys have an epic week. Like I said, post in the comments how your dating is going in your 30s and above. Like, is it a struggle for you? Are you getting the dates that you want? If you are, share it with us how you're doing that. Would love to hear it. Any pain points that you have that maybe you want some feedback on. Anything I can help you guys out with, I would love to do that. Would love to see you guys help the community as well. I know this is a big struggle and it can feel like you are alone, that it is hopeless. I'm hoping that this journey with me just shows that it isn't. I was not born special. I was very overweight and not that attractive when I got out of my divorce. I would say I'm more attractive now, but there's still work to be done. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Enjoy your Sunday, and we will see you later. It's hammer time. Bye.